Crosspoint worship team, we wanted to send out a video to you this month to give you some updates about some of the things that are going on with the whole team. And so we hope that you'll find this video informative and maybe even a little bit challenging with some of the things we have to bring to you. And what you can do is just watch this video at your own pace, go back, play through it again anytime you want. And it's also in lieu of an email, because we know sometimes reading those emails can kind of bog you down and you don't always have the time to read it, or you're in your car, so you could play this while you're driving somewhere and listen along to some of the information that we have for you.
We want to start by saying thank you just for all your hard work, your preparation, putting in those blockout dates, which has always helped us out so much, for just the way that you've welcomed new people onto the team, the way you've maybe taken on a new role, done such a great job shifting around, doing different instruments, all that kind of thing. I think, I'm proud of us. Can I say that?
Absolutely.
I'm proud of you. And
I'm
by
proud
you,
of you.
I mean us.
Yes.
All of us, not
as a
just
team.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Rafa. And so speaking of taking on new roles, we want to explain to you and reiterate that Rafa and myself and one other person who I'll introduce to you right now, David Hanslick, we serve as your worship leadership team. And so if you don't know David, he serves as our main worship leader and worship coordinator out at the Vines campus. And if you don't know him, you might see him around here attending one of our weekend services, maybe on a Saturday night. And you'll definitely see him here on November 10th and 11th as he leads worship at the Temecula campus with us. So get to meet him if you can, if you see him. But that's who David is, and that's Rafa, and this is me, Crystal. And here's some more information about what's happening on the worship team.
One of the things you may have noticed is that we're trying out a new service order. We're putting some more songs toward the beginning before the teaching. And that's something that we just are trying to just mix it up, just see if things maybe work better. That's just always an opportunity to just try something new, see if maybe it's better than what we're doing. And that can be kind of also present challenges just because it's new and it's different and we don't always like change. But if you have any input, any feedback regarding some of those changes, we'd love to hear it from you. We've been trying to offer that same invitation to the whole church, but especially as it pertains to you being on stage, in the booth, or just sitting here on a Sunday morning as part of the church, we'd love to hear what you have to say as far as maybe how it's affecting you or just any thoughts that you might have.
We also want to thank you for just being flexible with all of these changes. Each weekend, been about 5 or 6 weekends so far, it's looked different. Are we going to play music as a team under the Welcome and Vision? Are we not going to play music as a team? How does that look for the people in the back controlling lighting and levels and new mics? So thank you again so much for just rolling with it. And we do want to hear that feedback. We want to hear those questions. So let us know how these new service orders have been feeling to you, whether it's more engaging, whether you're feeling some kind of a disconnect. We want to hear those things from you. And one other thing that we want to ask as a team, as a worship team, sound team, media team, that during that middle set of worship before the teaching, when the person giving the welcome and vision asks you to stand, please stand back up. In that way, we can create that culture, we can help encourage the rest of the congregation to stand with us and unite together again in worship as we prepare our hearts for the teaching. So please, during that time, don't begrudgingly stand. Let's stand up together with some joy, with some passion, with some fervor, some energy, and get back into worship together to get ready for the Word of God that's about to come forth after those songs. So as we transition back into a time of worship now, we encourage you all to get back on your feet as we stand together and sing our praises to God. Hey, that means you too. Come on, stand up with us. See how that looks, guys? So as a group of people who are really passionate about singing our praise to God, about playing music to honor and serve the Lord, let's encourage everyone when we're out in the congregation by standing up and being that example that we're going to be fully engaged in worship together. All right. Okay, let's go. All right, come on. Hey everybody, let's remember that when we come up from the office before service starts, that whoever is the last person in the door, make sure you shut this door all the way. Please, shut this door. And also, when it's time for service to wrap up, and Pastor Steve or Pastor Tim or whoever the teaching pastor is that weekend is getting ready to call the band back up on stage, make sure you're aware of the time, make sure you're back in the auditorium and you're ready to come up with the entire team to get back into that last set. Because as we all know, and Rafa knows all too well, how awkward it is to be the last person back on stage when you have to start the track and the click and the pad. Rafa. Hey team, so now what I want to do is direct your attention to some of our technology and web-based components that we use for planning for weekend services. If you're on your phone, of course you may have the Planning Center app, but I'm going to show you how to navigate the desktop version of Planning Center. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to your Planning Center account and log in.